So today we are going to talk about seeking confirmation, which is given in your unit 2. Now we have talked about in first chapter about posing questions and answering questions. Now we'll be looking at seeking confirmations. When I say seeking confirmation, I mean to say when we are asking a number of questions to people in order to get some kind of clarification. For example, whenever we are in a class, you ask me a number of questions. What are we going to study? What are the goals of the subject? What is this university up to? Etc. etc. So you are asking for some kind of clarification and confirmation. Sometimes we are not aware about the whole truth, or we are not sure where we are headed, or what we are reading or hearing. So, in order to understand, in order to get the enough information for comprehension, we ask for different questions. And while we do so, we seek confirmation. Sometimes we need to confirm or verify the doubts and thoughts in our minds, and so we ask for confirmation. We need to know exactly what happened, who said something, and what is being planned. And for all these matters, we need to seek confirmation. So, in this unit, we'll be learning some of the ways in which we can ask for confirmation. Now, this is a situation, right? A newspaper reporter is asking the superintendent police some questions about the incident. Listen to their conversation and notice how the reporter is asking questions to seek confirmation. So, this is the conversation between these people. Now, let's read it together. We have three participants so far that I can see. Look at the first one, newspaper reporter. Okay, two of them. NR is for newspaper reporter and SP is for superintendent police. So, newspaper reporter says, SP Sahib, when exactly was Mr. Butt shot? Superintendent Police at 8:30 this morning. Then Anar says, where did it happen? SP, outside his house. He was leaving for work. He turned round to say goodbye to his wife, and at that moment he was fired upon. NR, what weapon was used? SP, an AK-47. Was there anyone else in the street at the time? Yes, there were a few witnesses. So you have a description. Yes, a good description. NR. SP Sahib, it's unbelievable. How can a man shoot someone in broad daylight in the center of Islamabad and get away with it? SP. Well, these criminals can do anything. The man who was wearing a grey shalwar kameez and a black shawl walked past the minister's house, took the gun from under the shawl, fired at the minister indiscriminately as soon as he came out of his house and simply walked away. He didn't run. Those who saw the incident ran to help the minister. Nobody followed the man because he had a gun. NR. He just walked away? Yes, I believe so. Incredible. Yes, it is, isn't it? NR. Do you suspect any of the motive behind the murderer? SP. At the moment, we are unable to make any conclusions. So there are certain expressions used, right? Where the newspaper reporter has mainly asked the questions. However, in this line, as you can see, even the SP has asked, yes, it is, isn't it? So he's also asking for some kind of expression, some kind of confirmation and verification. Now, if you look at this sentence, it says, so you have a description. So that is asking for confirmation. He asks that you have some witnesses and you know that there was this person and he had a gun, so you have some kind of description of the suspect. So he asks for the confirmation. Then there is a surprise when he says he walked away. He just walked away. That is also some kind of verification and confirmation. Now we have question type 9, right? We'll be looking at these questions from the perspective of seeking confirmation. We have just looked at a conversation between a newspaper reporter, and a superintendent police. So we'll be looking at how they seek confirmation and how the structure could be there in English in order to seek confirmation and clarification. So you have a description, he's actually asking. So it's a question. So do you have a description? So he was actually confirming what he just had heard. And when the SP told him that the murderer walked away, the reporter expressed surprise and reconfirmed the information and said, he just walked away. He's actually saying, did he just walk away? Right? So when we do not have a auxiliary verb in our statement, like we do not have in the first one, so you have a description, and in the second one, he just walked away. Therefore, we'll be using do and did for making the questions. Are you following? I hope you are. So I have tried my best to read the conversation or read the dialogue between the two people for the tone of voice, stress, and intonation. And I've tried to show surprise and all those kinds of feelings there that could be there while asking and answering certain questions. Then we have question type 10. Now look at the examples. She's a beautiful girl, isn't she? Yes, she is. Now there is person A and then there is person B, and they're talking about some girl who is beautiful. So person A says, she's beautiful girl. She is a beautiful girl, isn't she? So the person B answers, yes, she is. Look at the second example that is in purple color. It is such a pleasant weather, isn't it? Yes, it is. So you see, there is a statement, then there is a question asked. These are the kinds of questions which are called tag questions, where you give a statement and then you confirm, you verify, you seek confirmation in the end. These questions are called tag questions. We often use tag questions to seek agreement or confirmation. For example, I might say, it's a lovely day, isn't it? It's a good lecture, isn't it? We are learning, aren't we? She's late, isn't she? So, this is the type 10 question. Okay, any question? So, any question can have positive statements and negative statements. We know for a fact that there are sentences which are positive in nature, and then there are sentences which are negative in nature. For example, positive would be it's a lovely day, and negative would be it's not a lovely day, right? So the trick or the point that has to be understood in tag questions is that if we have a positive statement, then the tag question that we would have would be negative in nature. And if we have a negative statement, then the tag question would be in positive. Let's have a look on the examples. Look at the positive statement. It is a lovely day, isn't it? It is such an expensive gift, isn't it? So we have a positive statement. It is a lovely day. It is such an expensive gift. However, when we tag a question with it, after the comma, that would be negative. It says, isn't it? That means is not it, right? Look at the second examples. Negative statement. It wasn't a good film, was it? He is not a good man, is he? So if you look at the negative statement, the person is saying that it wasn't a good film, and then he tags a question for confirmation from his colleague or a friend who's with him or her. So he asks, was it? He's not a good man, is he?